talk about shipping. Shipping can be really tricky when you're first starting out your small business, or just if you want to send something to a friend or family in general. It might take a few times before you get it. Today I will show you how simple it could be. Just note that if you live outside of Canada, the rules and regulations are going to be different where you live, so you will have to learn those. I give you the basics and it'll be somewhat similar, and you could just change and convert everything to whatever you use in your country. So let's get started. So how does shipping get determined? The overall weight, height, length, width, along with where the package is going will all determine the cost of your package. So what are some useful tools to help you determine that stuff at home? The most important thing, in my opinion, that you need is a digital scale. I got this digital scale at Walmart in the kitchen section. Then when I press this, it'll open up. And right now it's set to grams. When you buy a digital kitchen scale, on the box it'll say that it's not made for mailing purposes, but for me, I still use it anyway. I know that a lot of small businesses use the same thing as well. If that makes you uncomfortable though, you can check your local post office's website and order an official one. If you can't find it there, go to your local post office and ask the person behind the counter, and they could possibly order it for you, or they may already have it. Another thing would be, of course, rulers. I have quite a few here. My favorite though is this green cutting mat, because then I could just plop the parcel on here and I will immediately get the measurements. It is in inches, so I just convert it to centimeters later on when I'm filling in the package information. And this is not necessary, but I have it to make me feel more comfortable. In the corner here, it has the official Canada Post logo. This is a piece of acrylic and has a lot of useful information written on it. And I purchased this from the Canada Post website. It has these slots in there, so if I have a letter, I could just put it in through here to make sure that it fits the measurements. And the most important one is this one, because I send a lot of small packages. Right here it says it's 20 millimeters wide. If my package fits through this slot, I know that it will be sent as either oversized letter mail in Canada or as a small parcel internationally. Another thing to note that your box has to go through the slot comfortably. So for example, for this box, for the most part it goes through, but then it gets stuck right here, as you can see as I'm trying to pull it. This part of the box right here where it's folded is actually keeping it from fitting through the slot. So this would not be considered as a small package internationally or oversized letter mail domestically if you're in Canada. Make sure you guys keep that in mind. That's why I love having this, because as soon as your package stops going through there, they're not going to force it through here. If you don't care about having an official one, you can always get one off of Etsy from other small businesses. A lot of people like to call it the slot of doom, because if your package is over that 20 millimeters, it's gonna cost quite a bit to ship it. And unfortunately, domestic tracked shipping costs a lot more than when you ship it to some other countries, and especially when you ship it to the US. The US probably has the best tracking rates here in Canada, which is kind of crazy. There's a lot of small businesses that like to use third-party companies like Chit Chats, ShipStation, Pirate Ship, but I have never used them myself, so I'm not going to talk about them, but you can look it up if you're interested in doing so. So right now I'm on the Canada Post website on my computer. My computer is right here, so I'll be looking from here to the camera. Your local post office should have a place somewhere where you can find the rate for your package or your letter. Here I'm going to start typing the address. Type the address, so it's asking for my address. And then where am I sending the package to? So here it'll have US, international. For Canada here, we're sending something to the US. Of course, it's considered international, but there's different rates to the US versus internationally. So let's say we're sending it to the US, and I could just type in a destination address or a postal code. So I'm just going to put a random one in here. And then, are you sending a package or a letter? So let's pretend that we're sending a package just for the purpose of this video. Now we have to enter the length, width, height, and then we can change the unit from centimeters to inches. And the same thing with the unit, you can change it from kilograms to pounds. So I'm gonna make a random size up, but make sure that it's the exact size of your package and everything already packed up and ready to go. 30 centimeters by 15 by 2 centimeters. Let's go with 2 centimeters because that's the size of the slot of doom. 0.095 kilograms. And then we're going to click view rate, and then you're going to have all these rates that you can choose from, and under all these they'll give you the extra information of like what else you can add to your package. If you want liability coverage, if you want tracking and delivery confirmation, you can get them for certain tiers. Now let's talk about customs forms. When you send a package outside of your country, you need to fill out a customs form. You could send paper items like stickers and some stationeries and so on as letter mail, but you're not supposed to because it is an item that has been sold, and I know that Canada Post now is cracking down on that kind of stuff, so it's very important to learn how to fill out a customs form. When I lived in the US, I would be able to go into the post office, ask them for a couple of customs forms, and they would give them to me and I would just fill them out before I went to the post office to save time. If you're in Canada, they actually have the custom forms online. You can fill it out and they send you an email, and then you can give it to the person at the counter and they should be able to just scan it, and all the information should be there and it should be very easy peasy. However, from all the post office counters I have gone to locally, only one has actually known how to use the electronic customs forms. So I was a little annoyed over that, so I learned how to fill it out myself with a Small Business Solutions account. If you sign up for it, you can buy shipping labels from there and the custom forms will be there if you need to fill it out. And then you could pay for the postage yourself and then stick it on your package yourself. So I'm going to fill it out for you so you know how it works. It should be somewhat similar to what you would fill out even if you're not from Canada. Now when it comes to the phone number, not everyone is going to be comfortable giving you their phone number. You can ask your customer for it and see if they're willing to give it to you. Usually I'll just put 000000000, and I've never had a problem with it. Now, package declaration. Why are you sending this package to this person? If the person bought it from you, it is a sell. It is only a gift if you are gifting it to them. If they bought it from you, it is a sell. Now, what if the package cannot be delivered? What do you want them to do? I want them to return it to me. So I will accept all the shipping charges. I'd rather get the product back than have to lose it entirely. And now, itemize list of packages. Like, what is in this package? For example, let's say frog stickers, more than one, and say there's 3 of them. Now here are the individual items. Sometimes I overlook this and I end up putting the total cost of all the product, but for one product, for one frog sticker, how much does it cost? So let's say it is $4. So in total, 4 times 3 stickers is $12. And then you can keep adding more items. And then let's say there's a bear acrylic keychain. Say there's 2 and there's $16 each, so that's $32. And you can add 4 more items if you want to. Now you're not able to add more than that, I believe, for this online customs form. So sometimes if, let's say, you have frog stickers, art prints, and all items that can be categorized as stationery, I would just put stationery. And then I would put how many there are. Let's say there's like 10 pieces of stationery, and then I would take the cost of all the stationery items and just average it. So let's see the overall average cost of all the stationery pieces, and there is $10. In total, you have $100. It might be like just the slightest bit off because again, it's the average of maybe 2 or 3 different products, but that's a way to kind of save the space while also declaring all the products when there is only a certain amount that you can add. So in total for this, it will be a total of $132 Canadian that has been declared. And I want to also note that when a customer buys your product, they are importing that product into their country. It's not on you as a small business owner to take care of that cost. It is the person who is buying it because they're bringing it into their country. So every country has a certain amount of declared value in their currency that they can import without having to pay a customs fee. For the US, I'm pretty sure it's very high, about like $800 plus before they have to pay customs. In Canada, it's even smaller. So now that that is done, we're going to hit review customs form, and then it'll have your shipping details and the recipient's details, and then the items that you have declared. You bring the barcode in the package to the post office, they'll scan it and make sure that everything is filled out correctly, and then that's when you choose which shipping service you want. Then you pay for it, and then they'll print it and they'll stick the label on it for you themselves, and it's really easy. Again, this is for Canada Post. I don't know if this service is available online for other countries. However, it is available if you do it yourself online, whether you get it at Etsy shipping labels or if you do it from the Small Business Solutions account on Canada Post. So here's some additional information that might be useful. These are plastic and they have a sticky side on the back that you could peel off, and these go right onto the package. You can print out your shipping label and put them in here. I like to cut them in half exactly because a 4x6 label actually fits in here pretty good. You just have to put tape on one side to make sure that it stays in place. I was using these before I got my shipping label. You can order shipping supplies from your local post office, but make sure you know what the purpose of those supplies are. Just don't get them because you have a lot of free boxes. For example, I know there's like the priority boxes. You can't use that for first class shipping or oversized land mail or whatever. You have to send them as priority, which costs more. They also have priority boxes where you can fit a certain amount of products and a certain amount of weight inside the box. It will only cost you a certain amount. When I used to ship in the US, they were quite worth it, and I don't know how much the price is now. I used to be able to ship a bunch of manga books for a fairly decent price, and as you know, books and paper items, like a lot of it, is not cheap. That's pretty much it. Those are the basics of shipping a product. I know I didn't cover every single little thing, so if you do have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll be more than happy to answer them if I know the answer. If you have any questions about EU shipping, don't ask me because I have looked into them and I am still confused about it. Even though I've learned a little bit about it, it's not enough for me to try to explain it to you because I'm still confused about it myself, so I apologize about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.